My name's Brooklyn Grange, and for my older adult interview, I decided to interview my grandma, Gloria Madsen Hulme. So these are pictures of my grandma. This is actually my mom on the left, and on the right is a picture of my grandma and her husband. My grandma's 92 years old. She graduated from BYU with a degree in elementary education. She has 8 kids and 29 grandkids. So I just wanted to focus on a few stories that she told me. So I asked her what the most challenging thing she had ever experienced was, and she told me a story about losing her first baby. It was a really tough experience, and it was an amazing story, but unfortunately I don't have time to say all the details, so I'll just give the gist, which is that as soon as her baby was born, she felt like her baby was going to die. And she told her husband that, she told the doctors that, but as far as they could tell, the baby seemed healthy, and so they kept reassuring her. She prayed about it, and eventually she realized that I need to put this in the Lord's hands, and it's His will that should be done and not my will. And so she prayed about that, and she just felt a flood of reassurance after that point. And right before the baby passed, the bishopric came over to visit her and her baby. At this point, they knew that the baby wasn't doing well, and so they asked what they could do for my grandma, and she just requested that they give the baby a blessing and name him, and so they gave him the name of David Ballard Hulme. So she also told me a story about her brother. Her brother's name was Richard W. Madsen III, and he served a mission in Hawaii at the time of the Pearl Harbor bombing. And this was a story I had never heard before, so I thought it was really fascinating. But so they obviously, my grandma's family heard about the bombing, and they were just very concerned about her brother and how well he was doing. And so she talked about how they gathered around the phone and they were just waiting to hear about her brother the whole night after that. And she remembers that her dad said, as long as he's serving the Lord, he'll be all right. And later that night, they got a call from some authorities from the church, and they said that all the missionaries had been accounted for and they were doing well. They're all healthy and well. And so that was definitely a miracle that I did not know about. So one of the challenges of getting older that she talked about, which I found really fascinating, and I wouldn't have thought of this as a challenge, but she said that when she got older, she saw a lot of her friends and family members pass away, and for a while she questioned, why don't I die? Does Heavenly Father not want me? And I never thought of that as being a challenge, not dying, but I realized that often the sentiment when people die is that they're needed on the other side of the veil. And so I never thought about how it could be difficult to live long and then to wonder, am I not needed? Does God not need me to be over there too? But obviously that is wrong, and she is definitely needed here, and she's doing so much good still. So I just wanted to leave the last words of advice that she gave me. I asked her, what's the greatest lesson you've learned in your life? And she said that she learned we need to pray constantly, study constantly, and love Him, meaning God, unconditionally as He loves us.